Hey friends, Justin here. Welcome back to my channel. It is a balmy 105 degrees in Dallas, Texas today. My goodness. Let me know in the comments where you're watching and what your temperature is. Maybe I can live vicariously through some of you, in the north and northeast. But thank goodness for good air conditioning. And thank goodness for AC in the office, where I work. But we're getting through. Texas stays reasonably warm through early November, but it will go down, 20, 30 degrees over the next several weeks. And I do have to say I'm looking forward to that. So today, I thought I'd start with something a little more fun, and that is a Goodwill haul. I haven't been shopping the last couple of weeks, but I thought I would show you some of my greatest hits from this summer, some of the clothing pieces that I've gotten. Get your thoughts and you tell me kind of what your favorites are. So hang there for just a second. I'm going to grab the first item. I'm back. So the first piece that I really like is this denim overshirt. It's kind of a combination between a denim jacket, and an overshirt. It's a little heavy for summer, but I've snuck and worn it anyway. It's just fresh. It's clean. I like the lines. I like the structure to it. As a matter of fact, I was at Goodwill, and there was a lady who pulled it off the shelf, and she looked at it. She put it in her cart. She turned to me and she says, "Oh, this would look good on you. You need to take this." And I said, "I will." Because I saw her pull it down, and I'm like, "Ooh, that's cute," But she was like, "This would look really, really good on you." And I'm like, thank goodness you said that, because as she pulled it, I'm like, I want that. So that's item one. Let me know what you think. As a matter of fact, there are two of them. There's a really dark, almost black denim that's identical to this too, and I grabbed them both just for variety. So let me know what you think of that one. The next one is a more recent purchase. Maybe a couple of weeks ago, I bought this shawl collar sweater. It's lamb's wool. It's a mix of lamb's wool and nylon. I think it's 80% lamb's wool, 20% nylon, which keeps it from being scratchy. The brand is Heritage 1981, which is a defunct brand of Forever 21. I remember back in the day in my 20s, Heritage brand. And so it has lasted for 12 or 13 years. Good quality materials. And when you can get good materials at Goodwill, don't pass them by. Leave all of the polyester and pick up all of the, solid old school materials that you can find. So this with like a white Oxford cloth button down, I think will be really nice and kind of classy in the fall. I gotta wait till kind of a cooler day, but nice watch, nice button down shirt underneath, and I think I can wear it quite a bit, this fall and winter. Tell me what you think about that. The lamb's wool. And just one more. Well, one more top. Maybe a month or so ago, I was there and I saw this non-traditional collar, and I said, let me try that on. And what it is it is a traditional Indian kafta. I know you guys have seen in films and, probably in your communities, Indian people wearing these kinds of tops or tunics. And I'm really into like oversized structured shirts. And this with like some indigo jeans and some Birkenstock sandals is really, really cute, in my opinion. You can't go matchy-matchy. I have tried to do like khakis with them, and then I look like a waste management employee, which there's nothing wrong with it, but it's not the look. But I really like this. It's not something that other people are wearing, you know? And I like the color, the material, and I just think it's nice. You can dress it up or dress it down, you know, etc. So really like that. Let me know what you think about that. And it is super long. Super long. I think I mentioned in one of my previous videos that I am loving these LL Bean style boat bags. So this is a vintage boat bag from the 1980s. It's a Mary Kay gift bag with a faux leather trim. So right now I'm using this one. This is my mail bag. So where I live in my condo community, the mailboxes are a city block away from my front door. So, you know, carrying all of the mail in your hand, it's just not, you know, you drop one and you're irritated. So because it's sturdy, it's 40 years old, I don't worry about it staining. I use this to carry my mail in, and it's worked out so far. A vintage Mary Kay gift bag from the 1980s. Isn't that fun? Now this one is a more traditional LL Bean style boat bag. I got it at Goodwill. I've already stuffed it with stuff. But the reason the ladies left this one behind is because it says John Hancock Investments on the front. And anyone that knows me knows that that's my line of business. I'm in investing. So if I take that into the office, you know, John Hancock Investments, it translates. It works. So really like that one. Stuffed it for like a beach day, sunscreen, shorts, towels, and stuff like that. This is another little pickup I found at Goodwill over the summer, and it's a hat from the Solaire Resort in Manila. It's got a Hublot logo, and it's just a fun, kind of nice hat to keep the sun off of your face. So those are some of the fun things that I bought over this summer at Goodwill. Again, let me know from the tops that you saw, the denim with the stripes, the shawl collar lamb's wool sweater, or the traditional Indian kofta. Which is your favorite? It's a hard choice, I think. But yeah, I have been on my 75-day hard challenge for a couple of weeks now, and I am really appreciating the results. As skinny as I am, the last time I went to the doctor, they told me that my BMI, or fat percentage was a little bit high for, my age and size and everything else. And so over the last couple of weeks, not a lot of sugar, no drinking, no smoking, exercise every day. I can see a difference. I've lost 5 pounds, which was an unintended consequence. I didn't want to lose any weight, but I was actually like swollen and puffy before, and I've lost that, and so I'm happy about that. My energy is a lot better, and I just have a lot more, mental clarity. And one of the things that I have realized is that I have been looking at myself through other people's eyes for so long. Um, Judging my own appearance, the fact that I was turning 40, not liking what I saw in the mirror because I was so worried about being hyper vigilant, looking for aging, for this or for that, through the lens of other people, if that makes sense. And what I have realized lately is that I am exactly who I want to be. I am exactly who I always wanted to be, even as a child. Only 5 or 10% of my being is that person who is constantly anxious, constantly hyper vigilant, self-deprecating. But another part of myself, I am a data scientist for a Fortune 500 company. I am an investor. I am a homeowner. I am a film critic, a YouTuber, a folk music lover. And, I'm one of the coolest people I know. I know that sounds extremely narcissistic, and it is. And people may see it that way, and that's fine. But I think I have spent so many years self-deprecating and feeling so down about my person and who I am and how I look and how I present to the world that I lost all of those things. The fact that men are not lined up at my door to date me is not a reflection of who I am. It is a reflection of their values. And instead of looking at myself in a negative light, there's no point. There's no point. And kind of the last couple of weeks have really opened my eyes up to those things. I was reading something that said, and of course I'm not going to be able to think of the wording, but basically you are who your younger self, wanted to be. And I am. I didn't think I would make it to 40, let alone have all of those accolades behind my name and all of those varied interests and be able to sit at so many different tables. The fact that other people do not applaud that, diversity of intellect and fashion and movies and this and that and the other. No one seems to champion those things. It doesn't mean I'm going to stop them. What it is, it's a reflection of the limits of the other person and not of my own limits, if that makes sense. I stopped for a long time here talking about films because I wasn't engaging on a deep level with people about, directors and cinematography and budgets and all of those things. And it's not me. It's just that I don't have the audience, or I have not built the audience for that kind of information, And so I think for the longest I was putting those interests, those hobbies, those aspects of myself away to try to strip away, to sanitize, to be just this blank, version of myself that other people could write on. But my book is already complete. And I'm so grateful for the mental clarity of the last couple of weeks. Once you start doing positive things for yourself and start thinking about the positive aspects of your being, so much I think can flow from that, So, yeah, I just wanted to share that I continue to be on a positive journey. I'm 2 weeks, I think maybe 15 days into my 75-day hard. My skin is clear. It's starting to get clear. It's going to take several more weeks in order to really appreciate a difference in my own appearance. But I am starting to see subtle changes that I'm pleased with, So I'll keep you posted. As always, let me know your favorite part of this video. Again, what was your favorite piece from Goodwill. Tell me everything that's going on where you are, and until our next chatty catch up, I've been Justin. It's been my pleasure, and I'll see you soon.